Hi everyone, how are we all doing? I know I haven't made a video in so long, but I'm doing it today. It's actually Halloween today, October 31st, but you know, I'm not getting ready. I am at home. But I wanted to make this video real quick because a company that I work with like way long ago, Light in the Box, came to me. A company that I worked with way long ago, like back in my OG days when I was probably in 8th grade or freshman year, I don't know, but I had a big sponsorship with them. I worked with them for like a year. Oh, another message. I worked with them for like a year and then we just stopped. Oh, another message. And then we just stopped working together. But later they approached me again and I was like, oh hey, what's up, you know? Basically, I make a lot of blonde wigs and I make them for other people. And where I get this blonde hair is from this website that I worked with before called Light in the Box. And Light in the Box is kind of like an online market in China or somewhere in China. But they have bundles, bundle deals, closures, and everything we could ever ask for. And so that's where I get all of my supplies from that website to make my wigs. So after I stopped working with them, I just bought my own hair because, you know, I personally do like the price of like how they sell their hair, and the price was good to me, so I bought some with my own money and I would make wigs for other people using the same hair. But then later they're like, hey, let's have a sponsorship. So I was like, okay, I'm down. And so they sent me like a bundle deal, and this is like the exact same stuff that I would get when I would make wigs for other people, except rather than using like a closure, I use a frontal this time. So a closure is basically a piece that goes from here to here, and it's all lace, and that's what I use for Eden the Doll and Nikita Dragon. Now if you guys don't know, Eden the Doll and Nikita Dragon recently have had like a blonde wig, and that was one that I made for them because they really love the way. Because they both love the way I made my blonde wigs, and so they wanted one. So I made 2 blonde wigs for each. So I made 2 blonde wigs, one for Nikita and one for Eden, and I got the hair for these wigs from Light in the Box. Yes. However, their wigs were closures, and when they asked me what I wanted, so they could send it to me, I said I wanted frontal because personally, I love frontals. They look more real and whatnot. So this is the hair that they gave me, and let me tell you exactly what I did. So I took a dome cap, which is like a swimming cap, and when I make all my wigs, I use a dome cap. It's like a black stretchy spandex cap, and I just put on a mannequin head, and I sew tracks from bottom to bottom. So as you guys can see, this wig has tons of tracks in it like that, and I start from the bottom and I just go back and forth in a zigzag until I make it to the very top. But before I sew the tracks on, what I do is I lay the frontal on first. So how I make my wigs is I would put a frontal. I do have a video on how I make a wig with the closure. I haven't had one with the frontal yet, so if you guys want to see that, let me know and I'll make a video with the frontal. So what I usually do is I take a closure and I just sew it on, and then once I get the closure on first, that's my base, I lay the tracks to go around surrounding the closure. Frontals are harder to work with because a closure is from here to here, as to a frontal it's from here all the way to here. So basically, from here to here is all lace, and the tracks are in the back only. So this one is a frontal. As you guys can see, the lace goes from here all the way to the very ear. So it goes from ear to ear. As to closure, it's from eyebrow to up here, you know. So with this wig, what I did was I laid the frontal on first, as if I would with a closure. And then after I got the frontal on, I then started sewing the tracks in the back. So with a frontal, it's more realistic because I love having a little swoop in the air. So when I have the swoop in the air, I need a lot of hair from all over the side right here to have that big hair going up. You know, you can't really get that with the closure because there's tracks right here. But this with the frontal, I was able to do that. So this wig was wonderful for that. After I got this hair made, I then washed it because after you wash your hair and you part it a certain way, I don't know. After I make a wig, it's very no matter how much I strain it and stuff, it just looks really awkward. But once I throw it in the washer, not the washing machine, once I get it washed and shampooed and conditioned, then it looks absolutely wonderful. And it's so crazy how much water can do that because, I don't know, all my wigs that I made, they look really awkward when you first make them, and even though I strain them, I'm too lazy to wash it. Once you wash it, it just looks so much better. So once I got the wig washed, I toned it. So it went from a 613 to literally platinum. So after I made it platinum, it looks like this. I still need to add roots onto it. I haven't done that yet, but after I washed it and I made it platinum, I just sewed the little adjustable straps on and I straightened it, and I just never used it because I never wore it because it didn't have the roots. And last time I wore a wig without roots, y'all know what happened to that. It got snatched, so I was like, nope, let me put some roots on her to make her look at least somewhat real. But then, you know, this is the final result. The color did lift really well, so I did like that. Now, pros and cons with the hair. I got this hair in 2020. Ooh, what did I get it in? I know the frontal is 16 because let me show you what the frontal looks like. So you guys can see this is what the frontal looks like. This whole entire part up here, it's like lace. Do you guys see that? Yeah. So I know the frontal is 16 inches because whenever I get a closure and I get a frontal, I always get it 16 inches. The hair, I think it is 22, 24, and 26. Or it was 24, 26, 28. I don't know. But the only downside was the hair was extremely thin. You know, I love the blonde hair, but I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it is really thick. I've had some hair where they were extremely thick, you know, but this hair was just really thin. And even in the past when I bought the hair myself, I noticed it was thin too. So what I would have to do is I would have to like add more hair than I would normally would. And what that does is because the bundles are thick. They're very thick on top of the bundle, but as you get to the end, it becomes really thin, like extremely thin. So when you put a lot more hair in the wig than you're supposed to, you're left with this big ass hair up here, but very like still thin hair down here, you know? So it's really hard. That was the only downside I hate about it, but I feel like I know the longer you get your hair, the thinner it gets, but I mean, the hair was just incredibly thin. That was the only downside. Everything else was amazing. It lifted well. Texture was amazing. It was just very thin. So everything was amazing. It was just extremely thin. I'm sorry. But as far as everything goes, I definitely do love it. And this is my #1 website that I go to for all my blonde hair. I don't really scope AliExpress only because, I don't know, I just don't. I go to this website instead. So that's my go-to blonde hair. And I feel like I have more blonde hair than I do black, which is so funny because I always thought like, oh my god, I have so many black hair but no blondes. Now I have so many blonde wigs and like hardly any black wigs. So that's that. But my total review for this hair, I would give it a 5 out of 10 only because it was thin, you know, so I had to clip in more hair. But as far as the rest, it's amazing. I love it. I paid money for it, and you know, I use their hair for other people, so clearly I must like it. But anyways, sorry for my lack of videos. I'm sorry, but I will start making more. It's actually harder to film because I run out of ideas, you know? So leave a comment down below what you guys want to see, and the most thumbs up leave a comment down below what you guys want me to see. The most thumbs up I'll definitely do. I have no problem. But as far as that goes, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll leave the link to everything here down below to check them out if you guys want to see. They have other bundle deals. They have more brown colors. They have everything, you know? Everything you can ever ask for, it's on there. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Until my next video. Bye, guys!